Good morning, beautiful humans. I wanted to invite you to join me this morning in my morning yoga practice. This is a slow practice with lots of hip release because recently I have noticed that I am holding so much tension in my lower body, especially in my hips and my hamstrings. And when I do this in the morning, when I work on releasing the tension here, it has such a massive impact on how I'm feeling emotionally and energetically. So I just feel so much lighter after I've done this practice. I don't always want to do it because it's actually really uncomfortable at the moment. Like, I have so much tension here and I'm curious about this. It's interesting to me because I'm not doing heaps of training at the gym currently, so I'm just aware also of some emotional aspects and energetic aspects that I'm working through, and I can see how this is manifesting in my body physically. And I think it's important to be mindful of this and to remember that when we do physical practices like yoga and other practices that help us to release, it can have such a positive impact on us emotionally and energetically. We do hold this stuff in our physical bodies, which is one of the reasons why I'm such a big advocate for yoga, because it helps us to release this stuff from the body. The sun is coming up, as you can see, so the lighting is a little bit trippy, but I wanted you to see this because it's beautiful. So let's get started. Let's begin in a child's pose with the knees out as wide as feels good. The wider, the better to get into the hips, so big toes together. And then just start to slowly walk your hands forward, melting your belly between your thighs. Just taking a moment here, pressing down into your palms and your fingers. And starting to breathe slowly into your lower back, noticing any tension there. As you exhale, releasing any tension that you're holding in your forehead, in your cheekbones, in your jaw. It's really good practice to start the day by releasing this tension that we hold in the body, and this sets the intention for the rest of the day. You can take this opportunity now to check in and just notice where you are holding tension. Consciously let it go with the exhale. As you inhale, look forward, slide your hands in, bring your hips up over your knees and find tabletop. We're going to move through some cat-cows. I also love doing spine work in the morning. I like to keep my spine happy and healthy. And I love being creative with my cat-cows. So you can move intuitively. This is one of the most important things, I think, is to listen to your body and allow it to move in a way that feels good. You can add in some movements back and forth, left and right, and feel that energy moving along the spine, from the base of the spine to the crown of the head. And because I have become aware of a lot of tension in the hips, I like to kind of shake the hips to release. I think about the energy here and getting it moving, freeing it up through the movement of the hips. Connecting the breath to the movement. And also getting in a little bit of wrist work here, sending the weight forward, pressing down into the palms and fingers. And then we're going to send it into a downward dog, nice and slowly. Peeling the knees up. And then just checking in with what's going on here in the backs of the legs. Really press the earth away, hips high, and then start to slowly pedal one heel to the ground at a time. Working out some of that tension in the backs of the legs. And continuing to press firmly into the palms and the fingers. And then pressing the left heel towards the ground, sliding the right leg up for one-legged dog. I like to hold this here for a moment to really stretch through the back of the left leg. And then exhale, slowly stepping the right foot forward between the hands, dropping the back knee, coming into a lunge. Checking the alignment here. Just taking a moment to ease in, take a few breaths here, sinking the hips forward and then allowing the heart space to open, drawing the shoulders back, checking in with the hips and trying to press the hips down towards the ground like this, so we're stretching out through this part of the left leg. And we're also working the right side as well. And then press onto the right thigh and lift, just slowly. You can interlace the fingers here and press the palms onto your right thigh, lift and lengthen, continue to sink the hips forward, relaxing the shoulders. And then keep your right hand on your right thigh, but sweep your left arm up and over. Take a big side body stretch. And then exhale to release. I'm going to bring our hands onto the inside of the right foot, walk the right foot out. And then just make sure that you have lots of space between your front foot and your back knee, but keep your front knee over front ankle. And then start to open up through the right hand side. So I like to press my right hand onto the inside of the right leg. Really open up, looping the right shoulder back. Both shoulders pull back away from the ears. Gazing into that beautiful morning sun. And then exhale, coming back to the center. Keeping the hands on the inside of the right foot now. And maybe easing down towards the forearms or just staying on the palms. So recently, especially on this side, I haven't been getting super deep into this. So I might just play around with it and see where I'm at. But I want to be able to get both of my forearms down. Otherwise, I'm going to use a prop here so that I can have my forearms in contact. And if I'm not quite there, I'll just keep working on opening up through this right hand side, seeing where I'm at and playing around with some movement. And then from here, inhale, reach your right fingers up and back and grab hold of your left foot if you can. If you're not able to grab your left foot, you can just place your hand on the lower back here and take a twist. If you can, then grab the left foot, pull the heel towards your bum and then continue to sink the hips forward. And breathe. This is quite intense for me. And release on the exhale. From here, walking the hands back into half split. I'm going to keep my hands on the inside of my right leg and then slide the heel forward towards the top right hand corner of the mat, and then also maybe shift this left knee back to go deeper. One of my goals this month is to get into the splits, so I'm working on this quite a lot. So try and flex your foot so your toes are pulling towards your shin, and then if you want to go a bit deeper you can walk the hands forward. Breathe into the back of the leg. And then you might find that you can go a little bit deeper, maybe walk this knee back even more. And just play around with it. So sometimes I will walk this left knee back but keep more of a generous bend in the right leg, and then I can really feel that stretch. Changes the stretch, so it's always good to just play around with movements and positionings and then listen to your body. Amazing. One more breath here. Perfect. So walk the left knee back in slowly if you've got it all the way back, and then slide your right foot back in so that you're aligning the knee back over the ankle. And we'll walk that right foot back into the center, framing the right foot, tuck the toes, lift the back knee, and then step back into plank. Breathe in and exhale into downward facing dog. Let's do the other side. So right heel to the ground this time. Inhale the left leg up. Take a moment here. And then exhale it all the way through, landing between the hands. Drop that back knee, coming into lunge. And take some breaths here as you ease in, sinking the hips forward, opening through the heart space. Bringing left hand onto the left thigh and lifting up. And then interlacing the fingers, place both palms on the left thigh as you continue to lengthen and roll the shoulders back, sinking the hips forward. And then inhale, reach the right arm up, exhale, take a big side body stretch down the right hand side. One more breath in. And then exhale, release. We'll bring our hands onto the inside and walk the left foot out. Notice how this side feels compared to the other side. We can start to open up that left foot. If it feels good for you, bring your left hand onto the inside of the left knee and open up, looping the shoulders back. And then maybe coming back to this neutral position and working the forearms towards the ground or onto a prop if you have blocks available or anything similar. You might find you can get closer on this side. You can still play around with movement. And then reaching the left arm all the way back. See if you can grab that right foot or just bring your left hand onto the lower back for a twist. Pull your right foot in towards your bum, sinking the hips towards the ground. And breathing deep. And release as you exhale, walk the hands back. Let's find a half split. Sliding the left heel towards the top left corner of the mat and the right knee back as far as feels good. And listen to your body, you don't have to take this super deep. Maybe walk the hands forward. Keep flexing the left foot so you're pulling the toes towards the shin. And breathe. You might like to play around with adjusting that back knee and maybe deepening the bend in the front leg. See how that feels. Amazing, and then slowly walk the knee back in. Slide your left foot back so your knee and ankle is in line and frame your left foot. Tuck the toes, lift the back knee, inhale. Exhale, step into plank. This time we're going to move through a little vinyasa. If you're with me, you can drop the knees or just come straight down, elbows in. Inhale, upward facing dog or cobra if you prefer. I love back bends in the morning because they're energizing and they're just so good for the spine, especially when you've been sleeping and you've been curled up, and it's just good to release the spine, open the heart, open the throat. And then sending it back into downward dog. Lower the knees slowly. And I like to add in sometimes a camel pose just to open up even more. This is one of my favourite back bends. It's just so delicious and just so good for the spine, but you need to take this one easy depending on how your spine feels. Always be mindful when you're going into these back bends. So to set up, pressing down into the tops of the feet, and we want to draw the tailbone down and tuck the tailbone under, so we're nice and secure around here. And then you can start by just supporting your lower back here, pulling the elbows in and then leaning into the back bend gently. Lengthening through the spine as you do this, looping the shoulders back, maybe send the head back. And you might stay here. This could feel intense already, or just as much as you want this morning. Perhaps you start to reach for the feet or the ankles. And then to come out of this one, support your back again and slowly rise, bring the head up slowly, and then counteract in cat pose. And child's pose. Take some slow grounding breaths here. Allow your body to relax and melt into the ground. And then slowly look forward. Let's come to a seated position. And finally, I like to work the neck a little bit, because another common area where we hold tension. And I just like to do this intuitively. You're dropping the right ear towards the right shoulder and noticing what's there and working out any kinks. Drawing the left shoulder down. Breathing into this space. Changing direction, drawing the right shoulder down. You can play around with the positioning of your chin. And then back to center. Maybe a little back and forth. Side to side. And a moment of stillness. Thank you so much for joining me in my morning practice. I hope you enjoyed that and you are feeling lighter as I am. I'm wishing you a wonderful rest of your day.